It seems like we've seen this story all year long with the Toronto Raptors. They show us a game or two of great stuff. Portland, Sacramento. And they follow it up with games like the Golden State Warriors and tonight with the Phoenix Suns, where you're in the game for the majority of it, but then that late punch late is always by the opposition. It seems like it's happened all season long. And the Raptors lose at 114-106 today. With the loss, the Raptors now fall to 23-29 on the season, and with the trade deadline continuing to loom, and the Raptors so far 2-2 on this road trip. And you saw today, if you were watching the game, you saw Masai and I believe it was the Suns GM walking into the tunnel together. What that means, if anything, I don't know. But the struggles down the stretch continue for the Toronto Raptors. And that, like I said, it's been the story all year long. You take half of those games that are within what? I'd love to know their record. You guys might be able to help me out with this. Their record within a 5-point differential, right? How many of those games have they won? Because it doesn't seem like much. First quarter, it was very back and forth. Mikal Bridges hitting a ton of shots early. Then Chris Paul shoots one at the buzzer at the end of the first quarter and drills the three to put them up by 3, 31-28 after one. In the second quarter, kind of the same deal. And I believe Chris Paul hit another three like it was in the... Well, it wasn't buzzer beater, but it was like in their last shot of the quarter or something like that. And they win that quarter 31-25. The Raptors allow 62 points in the first half. They are down by 9 at halftime. And something we talked about a few days ago that was so great. The Raptors, clean, not turning the ball over. I think they only had 6 or 8 turnovers all game long. The Raptors had 10 in the first half. Very sloppy. And guys like Bridges, guys like Chris Paul just make you pay for those mistakes. And what I do love to see is the effort out there in the third quarter. You're down by 9 coming out of halftime. We all know the Raptors, more often than not, have sluggish third quarters, or at least sluggish start to third quarters. And today was a totally different story. They start with a 12-0 run. They end up getting the lead by 7 at one point in the third quarter. They're feeling great. They're causing havoc at defense. They're getting out running. They're making shots. And then it flips, and they, I think, went on a 7-0 run of their own, and then it's back and forth within a 5-point game, back and forth, back and forth. And in that third quarter, Raptors do win at 31-20, right? And you're up by 2. I believe it was 101-99 heading into the fourth quarter. No, that wasn't it. That was late. I can't remember what the score was heading into the fourth quarter. But the Raptors were up by a couple. Now it's closing time. What are you going to get? And in that fourth quarter, I'm going to break down a couple things that happened that are glaring, issues of why this team lost today. There were 2 instances. I think the Raptors won the offensive boards battle and the second chance points battle. But it's the timing of their ones that hurt. Twice in the fourth quarter, they miss shots. The Raptors can't close out the possession and get the rebound. They get the offensive board and kick it out to, I think one was Chris Paul and the other one was Lee. And they both knocked down threes. Those are big possessions. That's in the fourth quarter. That's a 6-point swing. You complete the stop. That's a 6-point swing. Also, twice on back-to-back possessions, the Raptors airball threes. Pascal with an airball, your 2 best players. Pascal airballing a 3. Fred, wide open, airballs a 3. And you're like, oh my gosh. And at that point, I thought it was kind of over at that point. Even though the game was fairly close, I'm like, the mojo's just gone. Like, that third quarter mojo is shot. And you could also say in that third quarter, sizable turning point would be Gary not slamming that down on the fast break. I think he stole the ball from Chris Paul. Everything was looking great. He was getting out and running. Went out to slam it home. Lost the handle on it. Blows the dunk. And I think it comes down the other way and they drill a three. And that might have started their 7-0 run to get back in it. You could have been up 9. You could have been buzzing. Maybe force them to call a timeout. And crazy things might happen. But no. The plays that are just so painful to watch. Gary was, he was open there. He had the wide open dunk. Missed it. I mean, lose the handle. You can't blame a guy for losing a handle like that, right? If he just blew it and just rang it off the rim, fine. But that's a stinker. But that one is just, it is what it is. The 2 air ball threes and then not boxing out your guys and getting the defensive rebound and allowing a second chance points that are leading to 2 threes. Those are huge problems, all of which, except for the Gary one, was in that fourth quarter. 2 air ball threes and those second chance points leading to threes. Those were in the fourth quarter. Raptors only scored 22, their lowest scoring quarter in the game. And they allow their Phoenix Suns' best scoring quarter in the game with 32. Raptors are minus 10 in the fourth quarter and they lose by 8, 114-106. And I don't know, some of the questions I ask is, what was that starting unit to start the fourth quarter? So how many times have we seen Scotty and Gary, right, start that fourth quarter and then ease guys back in? Well, I think it was Scotty, Juancho, Thad Young, Chris Boucher, Malachi Flynn. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, where's the offense? I love Scotty, but you got to play off a little bit here. Malachi drilled a couple threes, and Thad gave you good effort. And albeit that stretch didn't really hurt them. I think they were maybe down 1 when those guys came off the floor, so it really didn't hurt you. But it was just kind of, watching that lineup out there was just kind of scary to watch. Player stats. Precious with another double-double. 11 points, 12 boards, 1 assist, shot 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line, 0 of 1 from distance. And had a steal and a block. Really Precious again. I mean, I think he's had double-doubles now in 6 of his last 7. He's just playing extremely hard basketball. And it's just so fun to watch. It really is. Scotty, I thought, I didn't think he really had a highlight today. It was just a solid night. 16, 7, and 5 for Scotty. 6 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line, the 0 of 4 from 3. And that is the one part of his game that if he can figure it out and shoot, even if it's like 35% from distance, he'll be a massive threat. But 0 of 4 from 3, 2 steals and a block. You love to see it. Gary, 21 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 8 of 19 from the field. I thought the energy was great from Gary all night long. 2 of 2 from the line, 3 of 10 from 3. But I think a couple of those were at least like heavily contested in the dying seconds, just kind of a Hail Mary shot. And one of them, I think, was it at the end of the third quarter when the Raptors were up by 2 and he had a wide open 3 right at the buzzer. And he missed it. Could have been up by 5, albeit, might not have changed anything, but those are shots wide open that you really need to nail. Now, he didn't do that there, but overall, fairly good night for GT. Fred, the energy was there, man. Look, I don't know what turned in Fred, but he's been playing phenomenal basketball. I thought he was great. 24, 4, and 9. 9 of 19 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 8 from 3, had a steal and a block, and one of his assists that I want to talk about was when he dribbled into the paint, and he was basically right underneath the basket, and there's 2 huge guys right all over him, and he waits and waits and waits, and then fires the pass around to Scotty, who slams it home, and I'm like, that is such incredible vision. It's just a beautiful pass from Fred, but in the end, you lost, so there's no moral victories. Pascal, 19, 3, and 1, shot 7 of 17 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line, 1 of 4 from 3. Again, the percentages aren't terrible, but 19, 3, and 1. Let's be honest, those are all under his season averages by quite a bit. And Chris Boucher off the bench, your bench didn't give you much at all. I think they combined for like 15 points in the game. Thanks to Malachi hitting 2 threes in the fourth. Boucher had 5 points. He had 11 boards, though, and an assist. That's it. Team stats, Raptors shot 45% from the field. They shot 49% from the field. And the Raptors, 27% from 3. They made 9 threes all night long. And they shot 39% from distance. They made their shots. Let me just check real quick the discrepancy in how many threes they made compared to how many threes we made. Because that's obviously something that we've looked at recently, and it could be a glaring issue. Only 2 difference. So only a 6-point swing. But again, you lost by 8. So that's tough. Raptors shot 90% from the free throw line, so a really good job there. They shot 81% from the line. And the problem in the game was the turnovers. Raptors they only turned the ball over 3 times in the second half, which is nice, but they didn't turn them over enough. Raptors were -1 in the turnovers, 13-12, and -2 in points off of turnovers. And when that's happening to the Raptors, it's not asking for good things to happen. And you knew DeAndre Ayton was going to come out there and have a game today, right? The last time we saw DeAndre Ayton, he did absolutely nothing against the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena. Had I think it was 4 points in the game. Was very irrelevant. And today he had a big night. I think he had like 22 in the game or something like that. A lot early. He did a really good job early on. But, I mean, without Devin Booker, yes, we don't have OG, but let's be honest. Devin Booker, a massive, massive step up from OG. And he still lose by 8 on the road. That's a very good home team. I get it, like Golden State. But in the end, moral victories, no thank you. Not at this time of year. Next game for the Raptors. And will this roster be intact by then? We shall see. Is on Wednesday night as they're in Utah taking on the Jazz. 9 p.m. tip-off there. Again, last one before it gets to an 8 o'clock tip-off. So we're working our way back. 9 p.m. tip-off in Salt Lake City, Utah. All right, as the Raptors continue their road trip game, would it be game 5 of the 7-game trip? Either way, guys, we're getting there. 1 game at a time. All right, so, guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and majority of the game, but then watching the fourth quarter made you pull your hair out, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like? From tonight's game for the Toronto Raptors, the Twitter and Instagram links are down in the description, so follow up, send me a DM to all that great stuff. And the Discord link is down below as well, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leafs Edition on Wednesday night as well, as they are hosting the Boston Bruins, Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 puck drop there. And as for the Raptors, they're back in action, like we said, on Wednesday night as well. 9 p.m. tip-off, however, in Salt Lake City, Utah, taking on the Jazz. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and not the finish to this game today. We'll talk to you guys then.